Hello? Hi there. Junior manager here. I wanted to record a message for you so that way you can get familiar with everything here on your first night. Because I actually worked in that office before you. I did that last month. And I know everything here can somewhat be overwhelming, but believe me, there's really nothing too much to worry about. But before anything else, I have this message that the company wants me to read out. Welcome to Kaatie's Pizzeria, magical place for kids and grown-ups alike. Blah blah blah. We are not responsible for death, injuries, or dismemberment. That sounds a bit worrying, but yeah, believe me, it's not as bad tonight. The animatronics here have been known to somewhat walk around. The reason being is that they have a special free roaming feature in them to help add to the immersion. They will walk around the building after their shows, talk to guests, and even hand out food. Heck, they're so advanced that you'd think there's a soul inside controlling everything. But nope, they're really advanced robots. Better than the last company that tried to do something like this. I think they were called Claire's Family Diner, or something along that lines. At least that's what the manager told me. They pretty much they got familiar with the technology that they used and improved upon it. But because it's so advanced, we need to have them walking around the building during the night, so that way they don't lock up or anything else. But they will try to find where the people are, and in this case, that's your office. So we've set up a few systems in order to help protect you from the animatronics. You have lights to see anything outside your door, and you have 2 doors to close if there's anything standing outside. But you can also use this for any robbers that break into the building. If you close it, they'll get bored and just walk away. And we have to have the lights off in the building, so besides the emergency lights, you only have the lights on your cameras, which anytime you open up a camera, they turn on automatically, but you can only see so much. And again, those cameras have blind spots. So, alright, yeah, that's really about it. Just check your cameras and close the doors only if absolutely necessary. You gotta conserve power. Alright, good night. Hello? Um, well, if you're hearing this, you made it to day 2. Congratulations. I won't talk as long as time because I know how aggressive these things tend to get as the week progresses. Interestingly enough, Katie, the main character, she doesn't actually walk off stage very often. But I did hear she becomes more and more active if the building's power runs out. So, I mean, there's another reason not to run out of power. And I don't really think anything else different should be happening. Oh, except, yeah, I had to deal with this when I was working in your position. We used to have 2 more animatronics at this place. A character named Edward and Claire. But they were both performing normally, but one day Claire, for some reason, became aggressive. I don't know exactly why. Got off stage, attacked a child, almost paralyzing them, but severely injured them and put them in the hospital. Don't worry, they survived, but we are dealing with a lawsuit. And immediately jumped at the Edward animatronic and kind of just ripped him to shreds in front of everybody. After that day, we pulled her off the stage and threw her in the storage room. The storage room door is in the restroom hall. If she ever activates during the night, she will slowly leave the room and run to your office. The left door, to be precise. It's pretty hard to see her as soon as she gets away, because she hardly ever appears on the cameras, and if you actually spot her, it'll only be for a second. So I recommend just keeping an eye on that door, and if anything actually moves, or if she actually moves and leaves, immediately close the left door, because she'll be there pretty quickly. Well, I'm pretty sure you have everything under control. Talk to you soon. yeah, quit. Oh, I forgot to mention this, but if the Kaaatie animatronic does actually move around the building, she doesn't actually go to your door. I mean, she will, but you can't see her. So if you see her in the hallway, I believe the right one, if you see her in the hallway, just shut the door and give it a few minutes, and I think she will eventually leave. But I could be wrong about that. Anyways, I better not take up too much of your time. Things are getting pretty real tonight. Well, I'll leave you to it. See you on the flip side. hey, you're doing great. Night 4. I'm not going to be on here long as there's not much for me to talk about, but you know, your week's almost over. You know, only one more night. Congratulations, and yeah, have a good night. Hey, you're doing great. Night 4. Um, I'm not going to be on here long as there's not much for me to talk about, but your week's almost over. Um, only one more night. Um, Congratulations, and yeah, have a good night.
Hello? Hello? Um, Hello and welcome back to work at the brand new and improved Mr. Barrel's Pizzeria. I'm here to talk you through some of the things you can expect to see during your first week here and to help you with your night shifting duties. Um, but the first thing I will let you know is that because you did work at the old location, things here are going to be a lot more different. The animatronics, they are way different because they have some new free roaming technology, a new criminal database so they can detect a evil person from a mile away, and they can even walk around better during the day and perform just off stage. Yeah, things have really changed. But the thing about them is that they do not like to be in an empty room for too long, so they'll try to find where the people are, and then just like last time, that's your office. But for one of the animatronics, our temporary solution is this. There's a music box over by the ticket center / entrance area, and you need to wind it up remotely. So just every once in a while, switch over to that camera and wind up the music box for a few seconds. Doesn't affect all the animatronics, but it does affect one of them. And as for the rest of them, there's an even easier solution. Because of that facial recognition thing, um, we kind of hazily put together an animatronic mask, but it does look enough like an animatronic so that they will detect that as an animatronic, and they should go away momentarily. Except for that other one. But that doesn't matter. I don't think you have to deal with that tonight. Um, but, things here are gonna look a bit different. You may have noticed there are no doors for you to close. But hey, you have a light, and even though your flashlight can run out of power, and I think even the side lights by the vents, the rest of the building cannot. So don't worry about the whole place going dark. Well, I think that's it. You should be good to go. Check the lights. Put on the animatronic head if you need to. Keep the music box wound up. Piece of cake. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hello? See, I told you your first night would be a problem. You're a natural. Um, by now I'm sure you've noticed the old animatronics sitting in the parts and service room. Um, those are from the previous location, although you probably already know that, and we just kind of use them for parts now. They shouldn't be able to walk around, but if they ever do, the whole mask trick should work on them too, so... Oh, but except Claire. That one's always just been a bit twitchy. I'm not sure the whole mask thing will work on her. She ever activates during the night and you see her standing at the far end of the hall, just flash your light at her from time to time. And also, don't forget the music box. That thing is really important, so... And also remember the limited batteries, so, yeah. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hello? See, I told you your first night would be a problem. You're